Well, you may know him as Special Agent Leroy Jethro Gibbs from the iconic CBS investigative drama series NCIS, in charge of a team of special agents responsible of investigating naval criminal activities. Well, these days, Mark Harmon serves as the narrator for the new NCIS Origins, and he is an author. His new book is titled Ghosts of Panama, and it's co-authored by real-life NCIS agent Leon Carroll Jr., who actually trained Harmon for his role on the show. Both men spoke with CBS News Boston's Joe Weil about their new book.
What motivated you two to collaborate on a second book after the first one, a New York Times bestseller, of course, and Ghosts of Honolulu?
I just think from the very beginning, Leon and I talked about the opportunity to tell the real stories of this agency. That's the way this show was presented to me originally, and then you start doing a TV format which changes that each week. The idea of doing real cases every week turns into, during a TV series, most likely doing a murder of a week, which is what we did. And so Leon and I always talked about the opportunity, should we have it, to tell the real stories of this agency and talk to the special agents who do this very quiet, difficult job, and in most cases haven't talked about it. So that's what brought the idea of doing these books together. I don't think either one of us ever thought about actually being an author or doing a book, but the first one did well, Honolulu, and now we have this opportunity to do Panama, and that's 1990. Leon was actually there himself, so that's been interesting to be able to tell a current story, talking to live people who have a story to tell that they've never really discussed.
How much confidence did you guys have putting this second book together after the first one was so successful?
When you say confidence, we were a lot more confident after we had a bestseller, but and also because these were all people that I knew. Every one of the 5 agents that were involved were people that I either worked with, knew by reputation, or trained with. So it made it a little bit easier than dealing with just going through the research for the Ghost of Honolulu.
Can you tell us more about the history and the influence behind this specific story?
Go on. Yes, it really started, the idea started when I was going through some case files that we needed to destroy after Just Cause had happened. And I noticed in one of the investigative action reports, the exact verbiage that George Herbert Walker Bush, the president at the time, used when he announced that we were going to invade Panama. And I go, wow, I didn't know all of this. And I started to read more about it, and I learned, you know, how impactful our agency was in that decision. So that was really the personal attachment that I had to it, and I wanted to tell that story. And we were doing it through the eyes of Rick Yell, who was the case agent on the Lieutenant Paz case.
And we only have about 30 seconds with you guys. What are you hoping that readers will take away from this book?
You take it.
Go ahead.
What I really hope is that they really look at it not only from the agent's perspective, but also from the family's perspective. That was one of the things that we weren't able to do in Honolulu that we were here by talking to Rick Yell's wife and his daughter, who were down there at the time that this was all going on, and had no idea what Rick was going through at the time.
And to Rick himself.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to reading it, guys. Again, it's The Ghosts of Panama by New York Times best-selling authors Mark Harmon and Leon Carroll Jr. It's available now for purchase on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. It's also available for ebook readers and audio listeners as well. Guys, thanks so much for joining us.